Welcome to Nature Shala. So, weather has been pretty unpredictable, right? I mean, just like last week, it was raining the whole week, and I couldn't even record the video. But this week, it's quite clear and sunny out here. So, here I am recording the next episode for you. But still, it's pretty confusing to get adapted to such weather, right? Anyway, let's get started with the next episode of exploring the flora around you. Before we start this week's video, there were many questions to me regarding the last week's video. बहुत से लोगों ने ये पूछा था कि the types that I told were those the scientific classifications, and many even corrected me that those weren't the scientific classifications. So yes, I wasn't trying to cover the scientific classifications there, but those were just the basic type of plants which would help you distinguish the plants into different categories without having the detailed knowledge about them. So again, वो scientific classifications नहीं थे, but those were just the simple basic types of plants. In this video, we are going to know about the first type of plant, that is algae. So the algae are autotrophic, thalloid, chlorophyll bearing and aquatic organisms. ये तो बस कोई एक बुक की डेफिनेशन जैसे हो गया और इससे कुछ समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा है, right? So let's go and break each of this term and understand that what do they mean and thus understand the algae in little bit of detail. So पहली term थी autotrophic. अब autotrophic जो word है, it is mostly associated with plants. And you will understand that why I am saying this. Autotrophic organisms prepare their own food from the very basic things present around it, like sunlight, water and other nutrients. And this is what the plants do. They use these basic things and provide and make their own food. So that makes them autotrophic. And algae, being a plant, makes algae autotrophic. So the next term was thalloid. अब थैलॉइड्स का मतलब ये होता है कि ये वो क्रीचर्स है जिनमें कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर प्रेजेंट नहीं होता. अब कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर यानी जैसे हम एनिमल्स में देयर आर ऑर्गन्स, सो हार्ट, लीवर, इंटेस्टाइन्स आर ऑल कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर्स फॉर एनी ऑर्गेनिज्म. और प्लांट्स में यही कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर्स जो होते हैं वो होते हैं जैसे रूट्स, लीव्स, फ्लावर्स, ये सब कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर्स हो गए. But as I mentioned in the earlier video, that algae, they lack the true stem, roots and leaves. So ये सब complex structures उनमें absent होते हैं, and that's what makes them thalloids. Chlorophyll bearing is pretty self-explanatory. That plants require chlorophyll, sunlight, and all these things to prepare their own food. So in order to prepare its food, algae also needs chlorophyll. So chlorophyll bearing means that chlorophyll is present in algae. Algae is also the aquatic organism, that is ये काफ़ी टाइम पानी में पाया जाता है. और सिर्फ पानी नहीं, but it is also found in the moist places or near the stones or damp places too. I hope आपको भी algae का एक थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया तो आ गया होगा कि what exactly is algae and how it must be, right? तो अभी हम देखते हैं कि what are different types of algae that you can see in India. Last episode I had asked the question that which type of plants produce maximum amount of oxygen, and the answer was algae. So Atharv, Saili and Rashmi had answered the question correctly. So there was one more question over in the comment section below, that whether algae absorbs a lot of water or it's the other way around. So I tried to do some research and find out the answer for this, but I couldn't come up with anything which would back any of the statement. But while doing the research, I came across this fact that just like other plants, algae also produce oxygen in the morning and they consume oxygen at night. But most of the times it happens, or sometimes it happens, that algae are not able to produce enough oxygen as much as they're consuming at night. So this leads in lowering the level of oxygen in that aquatic habitat, which is pretty risky for the fishes and other aquatic life present over there. Now let us look at some of the types of algae, and I would be discussing around 3 types of algae here, but there are around 7 types of algae present overall. So I want you to do a little research and find out what are those other 4 types of algae, and let me know in the comment section below. This type is the green algae, which is also called as the chlorophyceae, and I just hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly. Please correct me if I pronounced it wrong. So as the name says, green algae, it is green in color, and this green color is mainly due to the dominance of the chlorophyll pigment in it. So the very famous examples of this type of algae are volvox and eulothrix. Quick fact before we move to the next type of algae: there are 20,000 varieties of algae known to be found all over the world. That's just mind-blowing. The next type is the brown algae, also called as the Phyophyceae. Now, this type of algae is mainly found in the marine habitat, and it can go so huge that it can reach up to 100 meters in height. So this algae, it varies between olive green and brown color, which is based on the pigment xanthophyll present in it. So the last one which we'll be talking about in this video is the red algae, also called as the Rhodophyceae. Now it has this red color because of its red pigment, which is called as the R-phycoerythrin. And this algae has a very wide range of habitat, as it can be found in the marine as well as the warmer areas. It occurs in the well lighted area and also in the deep oceans where it is very dark. Have you ever heard the concept of glowing beaches? The amazing sparkling light just lighting up the whole beach. Yes, इच्छा होती है ना कि जाके देखे एक बार इस phenomena को. And it's very possible you can find this phenomena along the coasts of India. So this phenomena is caused by the bioluminescent sea algae called as the Dinoflagellata, which is a phytoplankton. As the waves hit the coast, this algae, they just light up. But as much beautiful as this phenomena is, there is also a downside to this algae. This algae are actually the result of beach and the sea pollution. When this algae they excrete, they produce ammonia in large amount, which is very risky and dangerous for the aquatic life present over there. On the other hand, algae is also used for the treatment of wastewater. So isn't it just amazing to see that how diverse this algae are? One type is used for the wastewater treatment, while other it causes the pollution and risk to the aquatic life. Algae are pretty interesting, and it is sad to know that we don't have very much knowledge about them, or we don't know very much in detail about them. And while we think that algae are just small organisms, so there's just one quick fact that kelps are actually the algae which can grow very large, and they are known to grow up to 200 feet. That's just something which is huge. Some scientists believe that algae produce around 70 to 80% of the total oxygen present on the earth. And some also believe that algae can play a very vital role in saving the planet. So just remember this next time before you make faces at algae. So that brings us towards the end of the video. I hope you understood a little bit about the algae and now are more curious to know in detail about it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we are not only exploring the flora but also the fauna. And we are also coming up with a special video on the eve of Teachers' Day. So press the bell icon so that the video reaches you as soon as it's uploaded. Till then, like the video, share the video with all your friends and spread the knowledge with everyone. Stay home, stay safe and take care of yourself.